whether there's been a contamination, you have to prove that contamination. Again, the levels, the science, and this is not me, this is the scientists who are saying, we believe that could be a contamination. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't wash, right? When you're in a court of law, you say, oh, this is a contamination. Oh, right, okay, don't worry about it. If it was, you're very unlucky. But if you can't prove that contamination, even though it doesn't make sense, and even though what does make sense is that they can prove that actually you weren't using this drug as a physical benefit because of the levels inside you, you still tested positive, mate. And unfortunately, you're going to have to suffer a ban. Now, that ban could be 3 months, 6 months, a year. What I will say is, if he is banned, of course, we will acknowledge that ban, and when he's free to fight again, of course, he would resume his career.
Could he not get a licence elsewhere?
He could get a licence now. It's not good enough. Like, he could go, I could have done this fight after, I mean, firstly, I could have done this fight with a different commission on the night. Secondly, I could have done this fight in many different places around the world. You can't do it. You know, you've seen the feedback, you've seen the response. He has to clear his name, or he has to have his case heard. So what we are not going to do, and what we won't accept anyway, is just to go and get another licence and put this fight on in December. No. Let's have the process, go through the legal process of Conor Benn, and then we see what the result is.
Eddie, is there any frustrations where you see the media are coming out making their own assumptions when, you know, you always talk about you wanting to clear his name? Is there any frustrations when the media are putting things out that, you know, could be very far from the truth?
It's just expected. You know, look, I think people are doing their job at the end of the day, you know, and like, what is frustrating is that people aren't giving him any chance to go through this process. Like, let him have his trial. When he comes in front of you guys next week or whenever that is, and you read the interviews tomorrow and you see him on across national media, see what you think, right? Digest the facts and then make your decision. But it's unbelievable. Like, I told him, you know, when this happened, I said, the first thing you've got to do is come off social media. This is, you know, you've seen Conor Benn. He's quite an emotional guy. This will break anyone. Doesn't matter how strong you are. I said, come off social media immediately. And a week later, he said, how's the response been? And I said, do yourself a favour, stay off social media. Because it's outrageous that people won't want to give him any shot to explain himself. But he has to go through that process himself, and he has to get it right. And people say, well, oh, how long is it going to be? Like, it's like, you have to get the information. You know, you have to go through the process. You have to make sure that, you know, everything you're about to fight for is covered off, and that's what he's been doing.
How much pressure are you under from the zone for, obviously you missed out on 3 potential pay-per-view dates this year with the 2 AJ fights and this Eubank Benn situation? Are you under a lot of pressure now with obviously the lack of UK subscribers according to reports?
No, the UK subscribers are fantastic. I mean, especially through, I have to give credit to our man KSI. You know, the numbers are incredible on the zone. And again, leading up to Katie Taylor this weekend, Dillian White's back on November the 26th. We've got a big job.